how do you get rich? How do you get rich? Like, and it seems like this big puzzle, and it seems like this mystery. But maybe it's a mystery because because we've never asked the question before, how do I get rich? Right? Maybe we've asked the question, how do I make money? Maybe we've asked the question, how do I get a better job? Maybe we've asked the question, how do I get a raise? But maybe we haven't asked the question, how do I get rich? Maybe that's why we haven't found the answer. Maybe it's because we're afraid of what we think other people will think about us if we were rich. That's like a real thing. I don't want people to judge me and think I'm a bad person because I have money. So, like, that might be part of the reason. It also might be part of the reason because maybe we have sought, maybe we have looked, but maybe just nobody ever taught us. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe I'm not rich because nobody ever taught me how to be rich. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to teach you today 3 millionaire formulas that I use to make millions of dollars. And when I say millions, it sounds like people throw around the word millions, like, oh, millions. And I'm not a multi-billionaire. I'm not. I'm a multi-millionaire. Yes. Multi-billionaire. No. Right? Will I ever be a billionaire? Maybe. If I am, it won't be because that was my focus. It will be because my focus is to serve as many people as I can in my God-given assignment and then let the chips fall where they may. Now, when I say teaching you how to get rich, some people would automatically have an aversion that comes up to that in their mind. I don't think any of you, but there are people like, how to get rich. Why is he teaching people how to get rich? Why is he always talking about money? Because money is important, right? You say, well, I don't care that much about money. And I say, if you'll lie about that, you'll lie about other stuff, right? Because people say that. They spend 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day working for money, and then they say, I don't care that much about money. Well, which one is it? You care enough about it to spend you're spending more time on that than you are with your children. You're spending more time making money than you are with your spouse. You're spending more time making money than you are learning. So how can you say, I just care about spiritual things? You're spending more time making money than you are praying or reading the Bible. So let's at least be honest about it. So why don't, instead of saying, I don't care that much about money, because think about it. If you were in a relationship with a person and you said, well, I don't care that much about that person, how much time are they going to want to spend with you? Not much, right? So maybe one of the problems people have that's keeping them from getting rich is saying, I don't care that much about money. Instead of saying, I don't care about money, I don't care that much about money. Instead of saying that, what if we just told the honest to goodness truth, which is fine. Watch this. I don't care the most about money. Like, money's not the thing I care the most about. But I am not going to tell you that I don't care about it so that you can feel like I'm a good person according to your standard, because your standard is not the one I'm trying to measure up to. And mine shouldn't be the one you're trying to measure up to. Well, we're so afraid that people might judge us for something we believe because we live in this world of fragility where everybody's like, you say, I believe in God. You say, I can't believe you said God in front of me. Oh, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. Well, go have a nervous breakdown, baby. Right? I can't fix that. Right? I'm so offended you talked about Jesus. Well, stop being offended. Right? Like, get over it. Like, I can have a conversation with somebody I completely disagree with and my feelings don't get hurt because I don't need them to believe what I believe in order for me to believe it. When I believe something's true, I can believe it all by myself. And if you can't believe something all by yourself, maybe the real reason is because you don't believe it. So I have no problem with creating wealth. I have no problem with being rich. I like the word rich because it's a Bible word. I like the word wealth. It's also a Bible word. I like the word prosperity. That's also about prosper, abundance. I like all of those words. They're Bible words. And they're oftentimes associated with good more times in Scripture than they are with bad. If you're going to get rich, the first thing you got to do is you have to get okay with the idea that getting rich is okay. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to be okay with the idea that being rich is okay. It's okay to be rich even if other people in your family are poor. It's okay to be rich even if other people who are your friends are poor. It doesn't make you better than them. It just makes you richer than them. And being richer doesn't make you better, but it also doesn't make you worse. Okay? So you have to make peace with this whole idea of wealth creation, because if you don't, you are never going to work to become something you despise. So the next thing you want to do, stop hating rich people. There are people who hate rich people just because they're rich. You know why? Because they believe that the reason they're poor is because rich people are rich. There are people who believe that now. I know. I've had people say to me, I'm not that greedy. I want there to be some left over for somebody else. I don't want to be rich. I'm not that greedy. I want there to be some left over for somebody else. Okay. So we get paid in life in direct proportion to our resourcefulness. I'm going to say that again. We get paid in our lives in direct proportion to our resourcefulness. We don't get paid in direct proportion to the resources around us, because it is our resourcefulness that turns things into resources. And so, I've got to make sure that I am okay with being rich, and I got to make sure that I am not I'm not hating on rich people. And after I do all that stuff, then I got to do the right thing. Then I got to do the right thing with my money, right? I got to start doing the right thing for my money. And then I have to start doing the right things with my money. I got to do the right things for my money. Then I got to do the right things with my money. And there are some people who, and when I say the right things, when I say right, I don't mean right as opposed to wrong. I mean right for the purpose of creating wealth. I have to do the things with my money, for money that will create wealth and not just create existence. Most people, when they say, I want to make a living, what they mean is I want to make an existence, right? Because most people don't really live, they just exist. And they keep repeating Groundhog Day over and over. And today looks like yesterday, and this week looks like last week, and this month looks like last month, and this year looks like last year, and it doesn't get any better. And they keep just doing the same thing, and they're like on this hamster wheel of their own creation, because they disregarded the first command, which is not the same as the first commandment. Right? What was the first command? Be fruitful and multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. Now, so if I am going to create wealth, these are the first three. I'm going to have to understand the purpose for my life. So what's the purpose for my life? Purpose number one, I need to create. You want to get wealthy? Here's the solution. Y'all ready? Create solutions for other people's problems. This is I know that sounds, Myron, what does that mean? It means look where other people, a big group of other people have a problem, solve that problem, let them know you will trade your solution for some of their money. I wrote this book, Boss Moves, right? It took me about a year and a half. It took me longer to write this book than any other book I've ever written. But it is, in my opinion, the best book I've ever written. I mean, Trash Man the Cash Man was great. This book is on a whole planet all by itself, right? But anyway, so I wrote this book. But how many times did I write this book, y'all? Oh, you don't have it in here? Oh, don't worry about it then. It's not that big of a deal. I'll just give a guesstimate. Okay, so how many times did I write this book? Once. But last month, we sold this book 400 and something times. This book last month made us, just from the book itself, about $14,000, was it? $19,000. $19,000 last month. This book that I wrote one time. See, that's called a clue. You say, what's the clue? Here's how most people make money. Remember I said do the right things for your money? Watch this. Here's what most people do. Go to work, 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 get paid. And then do it again. Go to work, 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 get paid. Here's what I do. Go to work, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. Go to work, get paid, get paid, get paid, get paid. I create something that'll pay me long after I'm done working on it. And I didn't write this book for me. I already know this stuff. I wrote this book for other people. I wrote this book, Boss Moves, for other people. And guess what? When I wrote this book for other people, those other people bought the book. I got one guy who bought this book, and he told me, he lives in Canada, sometimes in France, sometimes he's in real estate. He said, Myron, I had to join your inner circle because I read this book and I made $800,000 in 3 months from what I learned in this book. I'm like, oh, this book really was good. Maybe I should go read it again, right? Okay, so, but my point is, I created a solution for other people. Elon Musk is rich because people want electric cars. And so he created this concept for these electric cars. And then he gave his plan away for his building electric cars because he wanted to make money off the batteries. And so now he sells the cars to the people, and he sells the batteries to other people who think there's competition when they're really his collaboration. So you want to create something. 2, you want to connect. You want to connect with people. So you create a solution and then connect with someone. Maybe a whole bunch of other someones, right? But connect with someone. Like, all of the money that you desire to have right now that you don't have, it's in somebody else's pocket. If you create a solution for them and then you connect with them, a lot of those people will, guess what they'll do? They'll happily hand it over. How cool is that? And then 3, contribute. Contribute to someone. Maybe a whole bunch of someones. I love the opportunity to give to other people. God blesses you by yourself, but he doesn't bless you just for yourself. Are we tracking? So now that I understand that piece, what am I going to do? I'm going to apply, first and foremost, I'm going to apply the Millionaire cash flow formula. How do you make $1 million a year? Is that a good question? And $1 million a year for most people would change their lives, right? So how do you make $1 million a year? So first thing you have to understand is it's not impossible. It's hard to make $1 million a year at a job, right? And so the answer is probably not getting a better job. I'm not saying it's not, but it's probably not for most people getting a better job. So what could it be? What if instead I start a business? Okay. If you're going to start a business for the purpose of creating wealth, notice what I said, for the purpose of creating wealth, you want to start the right kind of business, the right type of business. There are 2 types of businesses. There is a business that either sells a service, which is the kind of business most people start, or there is a business that sells a product.